Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Evansville Horn Choir, sponsored by the Evansville Horn Club. And our introduction, obviously, was the theme song, the main title theme song from the 1977 original Star Wars movie, which was made first, but is now number 4, I think. Now, because this is May the 4th, we do have a Star Wars theme tonight, as you can see with the program. I did a little research into this May the 4th thing. Of course, May the Force be with you was in the first movie. That's a line that Alec Guinness says. But the first published use of the May the 4th be with you and making May the 4th a Star Wars thing was, believe it or not, in the London Evening News on May the 4th, 1979. Maggie Thatcher had been elected Prime Minister of Great Britain the day before. And it was a celebration of Maggie Thatcher's premiership. May the 4th be with you, Maggie. I didn't know that until I looked it up. But that's literally where it comes from. And of course, it's become an unofficial Star Wars holiday. The arranger of that work was Mr. Jeff Hager, the retiring band director at Central, and one of our founding members. And that's going to be another theme this evening, because half of the works that we're performing this evening were arranged or composed for this ensemble by members of this ensemble. Now, our next work is a film theme from a musician in Iceland. It's one of those musicians that just has one name, Björk. And Björk is apparently quite famous in Europe and rather eccentric. This comes from a film called Dancer in the Dark. It's kind of a dark theme about a lady and her son going blind. It's not terribly uplifting, but at any rate, it's beautiful. It's beautiful music. So we hope you enjoy the overture from Dancer in the Dark from the 2001 film of the same title. Thank you very much. The horn choir, which you see up here, is composed tonight of 27 individuals. Now, we're all volunteers, and unlike the school organizations that most of us played in when we were learning to play instruments, we don't rehearse that often. You remember if you participated in your school music organization, days, weeks of rehearsals, some of them very, very long. This ensemble rehearses twice a month for 75 minutes each. And on a good night, we might have 2/3 of us here. There are a lot of adults in the group, and as you're aware, as adults, you have parents and kids and jobs and vacations and illnesses and weather and everything. So of the 27 of us, I think we averaged maybe 20 of us for each of the 8 rehearsals. But we enjoy what we do, and we're all here because we love the sound of the horn. We have an awful lot of talent in the group, and you're going to hear some examples of that talent tonight, not only playing-wise, but arranging-wise. This next work, Ariette Vale, was completely composed for this ensemble by a member of the group, Mr. Zach Schmitz. And he's written just a bit about it that I want to read here. He explained it to me, and I want to give that to you. Written for horn choir, the music uses the horn's warm, rich sound to create shifting layers of sound. Musical ideas fade in and out, sometimes clear, sometimes hazy, like distant memories or shadows behind a bright light. This is the world premiere of Ariette Vale. is a big change of place and change of century. This is from De Falla's ballet, The Three-Cornered Hat. It's a Spanish ballet, and in typical operatic Spanish ballet style, it tells the story of confusion between a husband and a lover and a mayor, and they all dress up in others' clothes, and it's very complicated and probably not fit for church. But at any rate, it's an interesting work. It premiered right at the end of the Great War in 1919, and the Spanish loved it. I think you'll enjoy this particular piece. The Dance of the Miller is an excerpt from the ballet, and this is an arrangement that was actually produced by the Kumamoto Horn Ensemble in Tokyo. Takahashi arranged the piece for horn choir, and it works extremely well. So this is The Dance of the Miller from Three-Cornered Hat Ballet, 1919. Now, it is our custom to feature each year, this time in May, our graduating high school students, and we have 2 of them this year. And they've been joined by 2 other high school students to form a quartet. We're going to jump from Spain in the early 20th century to the United States in the early 20th century. 100 years ago this month, the most popular song and most popular dance in the United States was the Charleston. And we have for you tonight a horn version of the Charleston. The original was written in 1923, and of course it became the dance craze of the 1920s. This was arranged for horn quartet by a very famous horn player named Lowell Shaw, who is still alive at the age of 97. And he composed a huge number of horn ensembles, anywhere from 2 horns all the way up to 16. The most numerous are 4-part ensembles. They're called fripperies, and this is actually frippery number 9. It's the Charleston, done by 4 horns. I'm going to start on your left, on my side of the ensemble. One of our graduating seniors, just joining us for the first year this year, is Mr. Tim LaGrange. Tim is a senior at North High School. He'll be graduating later this month from North High School and immediately joining the Trooper Drum and Bugle Corps for traveling all across the country this summer. Next to Tim is Mr. Bennett Slade. Bennett's a junior at Castle High School. He's principal horn there and also second horn in the Indiana All-State Honor Band. Next to Bennett is our youngest member, a freshman at Castle High School, Mr. Nick Dyke. Nick is also the third horn in the Indiana All-State Honor Band, and he's in his first year playing with the horn choir. And finally, on your right, Mr. Daniel Wilson. Daniel's been playing with the horn choir for 4 years. He's the graduating drum major from North High School. He's been principal in the Evansville EVSC Honors Band for the last 7 years, and he's a 2-year member of the Indiana All-State Orchestra. So our high school performers are going to do for you now their version of the Charleston. Now, you'll excuse us just a moment as we do a mass move here. One of the things we've learned is that it helps in a group this large to sit beside other people that are playing the same part you are. Up until now, the first four numbers on the program have been 8-part horn numbers. In other words, 8 different parts throughout the horn choir. The remainder of our program will be 12-part. Now, when you have like instruments and you're playing 12 different parts, you use every possible bit of the range of the instrument. One of the two things that makes horn unique is its extreme range. The horn can play as low as tubas and as high as the trumpets. And we're going to use every bit of that range in the next 4 numbers because these are all 12-part numbers, which means if you divide 27 by 12, we're 2 on a part mostly throughout the ensemble. This next work is a big contrast. But before I get to it, I want to acknowledge one of our members. Of course, we plan to have everyone present, and things happen. We learned 10 days ago that a longtime member was not going to be with us this evening, and that gave us a problem on these last 4 numbers because we're 2 on a part, and that meant we were 1 on a part. These are wind instruments, and you have to breathe occasionally to play them. And so we needed another person on second horn part. And luckily, we have a very talented sophomore that agreed to switch parts for these last 4 numbers in the last 10 days. Jacob File from Brights High School. Jacob's principal horn at Wright's an extremely fine reader as well as a pianist, and so he's swapped parts in the last 10 days to make this work, and we appreciate it. Big change of style now. We're going from 1925 to 1995 for a Michael Jackson song. Earth Song was a tribute to Mother Earth and the crisis that the artist felt that the earth was going through. This was a huge hit, even more so in Europe than in the United States. It was on the top 10 list throughout most of Western Europe in the summer and fall of 1995. So we hope you enjoy Earth Song. By the way, this is the second number tonight that was arranged for our group. This arrangement was done also by Mr. Zach Schmitz. Now, as those of you in the audience of a certain age, and this would include me, know, this past week was the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War, the fall of Saigon. I remember vividly sitting in my high school government class, my senior year, every day in April of 1975, watching the television accounts of what was going on the other side of the world. The unforgettable images of the helicopters landing on our aircraft carriers with refugees. But most people today, the Vietnam War is ancient history for them, and what they know, they often know from the very famous musical that was set at the end of the Vietnam War that was created a decade and a half after the end of the war. Miss Saigon, the musical created by Claude Michel Schönberg and Alex Boublil, also the writers of Les Miserables, was the big hit of 1989 and played on Broadway for over a decade. We're going to do a wonderful arrangement for you of songs from Miss Saigon now, and this was done by one of our own members. Mr. Alex Schnautz created this arrangement. Alex, wave to the audience. If you know the show, you'll know where all of this music comes from, but for those of you that don't, the opening will be the busy streets of Saigon. Then the last few weeks in Saigon, the heat is on in Saigon is the second tune. Then the love story. The love story of the musical is set between Kim, a Vietnamese girl, and an American Marine named Chris. Basically, Miss Saigon, the entire story is Madame Butterfly set in Vietnam during the fall. So Sun and Moon will be the love song. Then you have The Morning of the Dragon, which is the Vietnamese troops advancing on the capital of South Vietnam, Saigon. You'll hear the hauntingly beautiful Bui Doi, which is a tribute to the unwanted children of that tragic war. And finally, at the end, The Fall of Saigon. Now, unlike the stage production, we weren't able to arrange for a helicopter to land on stage, which was a big feature of the stage production. But I think you'll enjoy this lovely arrangement, selections from Miss Saigon. Now, there's a lot of famous music from Star Wars, and there was no shortage of things to choose from from the movies. Perhaps the most famous tune from the more recent films, which I understand are 1, 2, 3, and 7, 8, 9, the ones made in the last 25 years or so, is this next work. It's Duel of the Fates from Phantom Menace. And Phantom Menace, of course, featured all the multicolored lightsabers, and you may see some of those come on in the audience during this work, or perhaps even up here on stage. This is the Duel of the Fates battle scene from the 1990 movie Phantom Menace. Again, the composer is John Williams. The arranger this time is Dan Turkanu. It's a 12-part arrangement for horn choir, and we hope you enjoy this little taste of Star Wars. May the Fourth be with you. Before we perform our last work, I'd like to express my thanks to the Methodist Temple and our conductor, Don Travis, and also the minister of the Methodist Temple is here, I believe, Pastor Andy Payton, somewhere. Thank you very much for being here, up in the balcony. Thank you. The Methodist Temple has very generously been the home of this ensemble since before the pandemic, and we couldn't exist without you. As I said before, this is an all-volunteer group, and we have to have a home, and horn is an inside instrument, so we need an inside place to play, and this works very well this evening. I'd like to acknowledge a few of our members. As I said before, we are all volunteer, and we rehearse a couple of times a month. Whoever can make it comes and rehearses. And we do have 3 members that actually attended every rehearsal this spring. And I'd like to acknowledge 2 of them now. One of them is a new member this semester, a horn major at the University of Evansville, Mr. Mason Gross. And the other is a young lady that I've known for more than 40 years, one of the founders of the Evansville Horn Club, Miss Jennifer Nance. In any group, there comes a time when some people are no longer able to participate, and it's with a heavy heart tonight that we say farewell to one of our members. This young man I've known for more than 15 years, and he's leaving us to move to a new job in Indianapolis. Mr. Ethan Wilkinson will be taking his position as director of Carmel High School next month, and we'd like to wish him a fond farewell and best of luck in his future endeavors. Now, as you probably read on the inside of your program, there's something called the International Horn Society. That's the International Brotherhood of Horn Players, essentially. And they have a convention every summer, have for 57 years now. Almost, 51 years ago, at a convention like that, I heard my first large horn ensemble, and I fell in love with the sound, as all of us have in playing with this group. As you can see in your program, in 2018, this horn choir was named the Best Amateur Ensemble at IHS 50, which was held at Ball State University in Muncie. This last summer at IHS 56 in Colorado, we gave a presentation on a large community horn choir. This is one of the few multi-generational, unaffiliated horn choirs in the United States. Most of them are affiliated with a university or school of music or some sponsoring organization. And we are multi-generational. We are, I won't get specific, but we range from driver's ed to Medicare. And we lean a little bit more towards Medicare than driver's ed. But I am proud to say that this summer, a delegation of us will be performing contributing artist at IHS 57 to be held at James Madison University in Virginia. And next fall, our concert in December, we'll be performing the work for you that we'll do there. Our final number today, I think, needs very little introduction. You'll recognize all these tunes. We hope you enjoy it. I discovered this in a bin at the vendor's table at IHS 56 last summer in Colorado and couldn't resist purchasing it. This is American Medley. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We hope to see you all again in December. Thank you so much for coming.